G'day and Happy New Year.
Welcome to SEQ Campers.
Yes, 2025 SEQ with the Kimberley Kube.
Yeah, so we've been traveling in the Kimberley Kube over the holidays.
Yeah, we had a really good trip. We got away a couple of times. We did the trip with the boys, and then we did a trip just as a couple in our new Kimberley Kube. So we took this up north. We've gone away for a week, and these are some of the things that we used, that we liked, and some of the stuff that we did in such a compact, off-road, sustainable unit.
It was really easy to tow. So I think I towed the first day for like the first 5 hours because Shane had packed everything. So I towed the first 5 hours. We got pretty far up north, had a sleep overnight, woke up on the beachfront.
It was good. So I do feel for anyone who is, last minute, we're trying to deliver a van to you and you're getting ready to go in a few days. So a late night packing before we hit the road. I was exhausted. Maud first thing, and she did so much of the driving.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've taken this cube away and we've got it behind a new D-Max. We had a fair bit of gear in there. You'll see in some of our images that we've actually had electric bikes on the front.
Mm-hmm.
So they're little cruisers. They're just holiday cruisers, but they're an e-bike, so easy to get around. And this is the story of what we did with that.
So the first place we went to was at Stanage Bay.
Stanage Bay.
Right, and we drove all the way up the top of the point there, and we sat there and had breakfast on the waterfront, and it was beautiful.
So it was a little bit cool, recommended by some customers, Kimberley owners, that it is the little of the Cape York of southern Queensland. So a lot of corrugation, a lot of cattle guards. We'd come flying over some cattle guards, and one of the things I gotta say is we get destinations. You can drive at a comfortable speed on all the roads. We were checking our airbags. We changed some tire pressure just as we went along to test this out off-roading. We saw a trail that, people are doing four-wheel drive adventures up. And I said, I think I can get the caravan up there. I can get the Kimberley Kube. And so we'd taken it up on this headland. And Stanage Bay has 3 bays to view. Stanage Bay, I really liked that we went the back country, found a few trails, and we camped on that headland. And we camped and we got to have breakfast. We went up on some trails, but we don't see any other caravans doing it. And we could do it with the Kimberley Kube.
After we left Stanage Bay, we headed up we were looking for a place to camp for New Year's Eve. And where did we end up, Shane?
So I can only say the Dugong Sanctuary.
Clairview, Dugong.
Clairview, thank you.
Clairview,
hey? So this was pretty cool, but it was definitely the locals of the central Queensland all come out to the beach. They all had their Polarises, their vehicles. There's four-wheel driving, fishing, and
it was a pretty busy spot. So we drove in there, beachfront camping, and we thought there's no way we're gonna get beachfront, but the Kimberley Kube got into the one last little spot, perfect. You just parked up really nicely, didn't you, so that we had the full view. Yeah. And then we pulled out the kitchen within 5 minutes and we're cooking dinner.
So it was pretty cool. So they come in and say, please make sure you park your van sideways or perpendicular to the beach, don't block the beach and all of that. But because the Kube is so compact, we were able to go in on a 45, so we hid all the morning sun and had that great view.
We did.
Yeah.
Our neighbors had puppies.
Yes.
Do we have that to show? Which I've never had that camping before. It was a great New Year's Eve.
So like any country place, everyone had the cowboy hats and the big trucks and that, and they had a cattle dog with these week-old puppies. So this was a bit special for our Christmas camping and into New Year's. 3.5 meter tide. So Clairview, right on the beach, the only place you've probably driven by at a heap where you see that blue water, turtles and dugongs, and loved it there. But our site was great. Ended up staying 2 nights.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
We stayed for New Year's. We'd actually been hunting around for bush camps before that.
Yep.
We got down on the St. Lawrence River, muddy banks, marshes, mangroves. It was a bit too much, and the beach had that breeze. So we didn't use the air conditioning as much as we thought.
We didn't use it at all there because it was such a nice breeze. We just opened the windows on the Kube, the breeze went through.
Massive big windows let it through there, and we were set, huh?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, got to listen to some rock and roll and have a good New Year's there. So out of Clairview, we were New Year's and
We headed straight up to Airlie, didn't we?
Airlie Beach. So we lucked out on getting a great deal on a resort, and we picked this resort because it had a bit more parking, and we were able to park the Cube in any parking spot and go into a lovely little spot. But we had a great great park for the Cube as well as the ute.
Yeah, and it was just right by our hotel room. We could just take everything out of the fridge up into our hotel room suite, and yeah, we were set.
Food and drink was here, but it was such an easy move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And with these little cruiser e-bikes out cruising around Airlie Beach, and we could charge them on the inverter. So again, 300 amps of batteries in this one with a 2,600 watt inverter. And because the inverter is in the front, you can plug into that. And we just charge the bikes, lock them up here.
Yeah.
We did 3 or 4 lookouts trips.
Yeah, we did a couple good bike rides up there, up hills, you know.
Uphill.
It's easy with the e-bikes.
And it was just the fact that you could enjoy this outback, rough and tumble Stanage Bay, beachside living in a little spot, and then into the suburbs, the city. We went to waterfalls with the Cube on the back.
Yeah, that was a bit of an adventure, wasn't it? But it worked out because the Cube is so small and easy to turn.
So I love the challenge, and it was all about being able to move this around on our trip.
We headed south. We headed to Platypus Land. What's
Finch Hatton Gorge. So again, customers recommended up that way towards Mackay, and you're heading into this canyon, and at the end of the gorge, it just goes straight up.
Yeah, so we headed up there. We got a nice little spot for camping. It was very rainy, very cloudy, very cool. So it was a nice change from Airlie.
Yes.
And we set up a nice fire pit, put up the awnings, everything, ate dinner, and then I noticed there were leeches everywhere. So I went into the camper and didn't come out for the rest of that day.
So this was our first experience of Maud actually enjoying or living inside the Cube. So then you were able to do everything in there. She had a good spot on the floor so I could make sure that I didn't bring any of the rainforest leeches.
I did check.
In there. I was a happy camper. Never had to really unhook. We could just pop it out, had dinner. So this is a little story on our holiday, but what we did have is even coming back there, dropping in at Hervey Bay, doing a great bike ride. We could pull up in front of a bakery.
Yep.
The bikes on the front were so easy on and off. We could just say, hey, let's go check it out.
Yep.
And when you're doing a lot of driving, it was nice.
It was nice. It was nice. What do we do, 20K there?
20K of biking,
Right. Yeah.
just to break up on our trip. We'd stayed just out of Hervey Bay. We were able to pull over at a rest area. And everything was just pretty
Easy.
cruisy. We tried to stay off the Bruce Highway, so we'd come through the backcountry from Finch Hatton and all that backcountry road. We're not seeing many cars off the Bruce Highway. So really lovely trip, giving you a bit of an idea of what we've done with the Cube and what we're looking here.
Yeah.
So overall, top 2 things that each of us found with the Cube, enjoyed on the trip. So
Yep.
one for you.
Was the kitchen lounge, just pulling it out. I had beautiful view over the bay for cooking. It was just wonderful. And then being able to lock myself inside when the circumstances called for it.
And had a spot inside.
Yeah.
Used a TV, had a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
We were able to enjoy that and still stay cool.
Yeah.
Hey?
And yours?
And so we went with no gas, this whole thing. Took the gas bottle off, so we're running all off the inverter. So that was pretty good. Had the little barbecue induction here and off the kitchen.
Yeah.
So that was pretty simple, easy to use.
Yep.
And there's some couple of tips there. Making sure you test your power bar appliances in that outside plug. So we just got a great plug that works well there. So we could run 2 appliances off that, just at a lower voltage. So mine was towing. So I towed, and I was down to 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway with the Cube behind us. So that's cruising along.
That was a happy Shane driving there.
So we went pretty far on a tank of fuel with this shape, this size. And I really noticed getting into the resort parking, was a lot of my parking that I could just get on the edge of a parking lot. Grocery stores, all of the shops were pretty good, and I could get around there. Airbags, we probably used the airbags quite a bit on this trip. because we pull up and it's quite high, and then I'd just go and drop this airbag on this side here to make that kitchen and that step nice.
Yep.
So probably setting up this step was great. Came out all the time for using it there. This is after a lot of dirt, dust, and we've cleaned it up, and it's all really
looking like new again.
It's looking good, hey?
Yeah.
We use this for storage, and we stored a toilet here as well. So we made a box for a toilet. It would have gone inside, but I had stored other things and used that for tools and stuff. But great, the blind on the front, so it was quite nice. You could keep it quite dark for sleeping.
Yeah.
But those were my things, was definitely towing, parking, reversing. I got into a few spots where I wanted to climb up this trail. I'm like, look at that, let's go in there. And I could get myself around. So that was probably my super fun, was the towing and fuel economy. Yeah. So it is a great sustainable product on this guy here with the Kimberley Kube, being that the fiberglass shell, everything is about the weight of a camper trailer and easy enough to tow, but zero setup.
Zero setup.
We loved it. This chassis is so tough. We put this through its paces, and this is our little Kimberley Kube adventure and sharing what we liked and really enjoyed. SEQ campers, please subscribe. If you do, you'll see our next videos coming out, and it really does help us make more videos.
See you next time.